what did you tell me before we got the show rolling about LeBron James and Tom Brady?
LeBron spends $1 million a year on himself.
Is he getting his return?
Oh, he's getting an ROI, all right.
Tom Brady, the guy's 50. I don't know what
he won a Super Bowl again.
He just won a Super Bowl at the age of 40
just won too.
You see, these guys, they know the game. They know, like, they're investing into every, when it comes to them, every aspect, nutrition, health, mindset, like spirituality, like they're investing. They got their board of advisors.
You've got success now. You've got all these companies. You're making all this money. And, you kind of went through a crisis dealing with, like, the success of it. Like, what's that? Like, how do I deal with success now? Yeah. And that's what led you down this personal development path where, like we said at the beginning of the episode, you're spending, your goal is to spend $250,000
2021 this year
on personal development. So
and I'm about halfway there.
Already halfway there. Yep. So your goal is to spend $250K, and you've already spent half of that. We're not even halfway through the year.
I'm about 120 in.
Yeah,
120.
So, I think I spend a lot of money on myself to develop, but it's not at that level yet. So, like, what am I missing out on? What are you spending it on?
I'll tell you the way this all started. In 2017, man, like, my business partner and I, we did in 2 years what probably takes somebody 10 years to do. That people don't understand that, right? Like, we did. I mean, how many people do you know in the real estate space that we're already, and no comparison, not competing with anybody, but how many people have you met that have been doing this business for 10, 15, 20 years, right? And they don't have the level of success that we have. They don't have the team that we have. They don't have the infrastructure that we have. They don't spend the money that we do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because Sal and I put everything on the line. When we say, like, when I say we went all in, we were like, we're willing to die for this. Like, that's what it was. And he's an Iraqi immigrant that was persecuted, shot at, for being a Catholic in Iraq. So he already had that adversity and trauma coming in. Then you got this Mexican kid that all he knew was, like, pain, suffering, abandonment, trauma. Then you put these two guys together. I mean, it's like, it's like, what do you call it? Like putting fuel into a fire, right?
Right.
You put these two guys together, and then they complement each other so well, right? One of them's an integrator. He's a software guy. Then you got this guy who's a bulldozer. He's a visionary. He leads from the front. You put these guys together, and we start creating some magic. For 2 years, we neglected our children, our wives, our family. I mean, if it wasn't about growing our businesses, we didn't want nothing to do with it. Nothing. We neglected our health. So in 2017, I remember vividly, Labor Day weekend of 2017, I got my first anxiety attack. I didn't even know what anxiety was. Think about it, right? Think about a kid who grows up in all this poverty and suffering. And I'm just used to this at this point. Like, this is my second nature, like, to be anxious, to be in survival, to see how we're going to live today. Like, we, not guarantee the next meal, not guarantee the next day. I was okay with that already. But once we got some success in 2017, it really starts to come back full force. Like, now you're not in survival mode. Now you have a little bit of time to relax a little bit and idle hands. And then you start thinking about all that junk and baggage starts coming up. And I got anxiety, man. I had an anxiety attack. I've had 2 anxiety attacks in my life. They both happened the same week during Labor Day weekend, 2017. So I'm like, this isn't right. Something's happening. I don't feel good. What is this? I thought I was sick. And I went to every doctor, every specialist. I did every MRI, every brain scan, every piece of blood work you can do. And all the doctors at the end said, hey, man, you just have GAD, general anxiety disorder. I'm like, what is anxiety? Like, you have anxiety. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. What is it? Can you describe it to me? Well, you got the weight of the world on your shoulders and blah, blah. And they didn't even tell me, like, okay, this is what you need to do, right? So they're like, take these. What are these? Klonopin and Paxil. take this at night, take this one at night, take this one in the morning, right? So they gave me Klonopin, 20 milligrams, half a pill at night, half a pill in the morning. They gave me Paxil, 20 milligrams. Klonopin was 0.05 milligrams. I apologize. Paxil was 20 milligrams. So I'm on these pills. And you know what those pills do to you? They shut down your ability to feel, like your emotional state. So don't get me wrong. This was like our superpower for me and Sal. Sal's on Klonopin, I'm on Klonopin. Right? We feel nothing, we know nothing. We're like, yeah, baby, like stress is not even a factor. See, a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that me and Sal were on the super pills. See, where you're over there working out and trying to, reduce your stress levels. We're like, I mean, that's exactly what we did for a few years. But at some point I'm like, man, like I'm not really living life. I'm not really living life. Like I got a baby girl here. I got my beautiful wife. Why am I not feeling grateful? Why am I not present? Why am I not feeling? You see?
Right.
So I said, I got to get off these pills. Like my soul was telling me, you need to get off these pills. So in March of 2019, I went to see a doctor called Dr. George Pratt in La Jolla. Dr. George Pratt has treated the likes of Tony Robbins, Andre Agassi, Phil Mickelson, Rob Dyrdek, like all these big names, right? And I started doing some work with Dr. Pratt in La Jolla, and I started to see some progress, right? Okay, all right, this is helping me. Then I start to hire I got a spiritual mentor mid 2019. I got you met him, Christian Ferris. Hired him as a spiritual mentor. I did about 6 months with him. I hired several. One of my amazing coaches to this day right now. Her name is Tanya Oliver, and now she's coaching Terry Thayer, Chrissy Thayer, Art Sanchez, his wife. Like she's coaching all kinds of people now, because they started to see what I was transforming or transitioning into. Brother, I can tell you this in your eyes right now, because like personal development saved my life, saved my marriage, saved my everything. Personal development, me going in internally and peeling back the layers of the onion and slowly but surely getting rid of a lot of that baggage that was holding me down, right? It's been able... over the past 12 months, bro, like it's catapulted me to a level that I didn't imagine, right? And I can sit here and look at you in the eyes, which I told one of your crew members here that I was going to look at you in the eyes, right? And I got rid of, I'm no longer on Paxil. I'm no longer on Klonopin. I'm just no longer on anything that doesn't serve me anymore.
That's amazing,
so,
bro.
that's why personal development, it saved my life, man. So that's why I believe in it. I spent $144,000 last year. And when I say personal development, I'm not just saying like, oh, it's just I'm paying coaches. No, don't get me wrong. I pay coaches. I got several coaches that don't not only treat me, but they actually give my wife 2 sessions a week. I pay full. By the way, this is what a lot of people don't understand, and I hope people out there like really understand this and respect this if they're trying to become massively successful past themselves into the next generation. My 8-year-old has a personal development coach. She does 2 sessions a week with Tanya. My wife has a personal development coach with Tanya. She does 2 sessions a week. So now, not only am I making sure that I elevate, I'm making sure that my family, especially my next generation, which is my oldest baby girl, she's come a long way. Her emotional intelligence right now is ridiculous. And she's the only 3rd grader at school that is making about $100 to $120 a week selling toys. I didn't even tell her to sell toys. I'm like, she's like, baby, why do you sell toys? Well, because I like business. Well, why do you like business? Because I see you do it. You see, it's all demonstration, right? For our children. Right. So that's why I strongly believe, man, in like developing spiritually, mentally, physically, everything. And that's why I'm going to spend the $250,000 this year. And we'll see what next year has in store for me.
I love that, bro.
Yeah.
One of the things that I preach is, I've talked about it on a lot of different podcasts, is my acronym Reyes. It stands for relationships, assets, intellect, spirit, and exercise. It's like, if I'm hitting all 5 of those things on a daily basis,
I love it.
I'm going to be good, and so I've got my planner, I've got everything. And by the way, guys, I give the planner that I've created completely away for free. You can download it at ryanpineda.com. But like I could show you my planner every day this year of whether or not I did what I was going to do relationship wise that week, that day, that quarter, asset wise, what am I doing to hit my financial goals? Intellect wise, what am I doing to grow, my personal development essentially, with books and podcasts and education, masterminds, all that stuff. Spirit, right? How much time am I spending with God? Exercise, my body, my health. And the thing that I have seen from entrepreneurs, we've been in this game a while now, and we've seen a lot of entrepreneurs who are very successful in one aspect of their life, money, right? Yeah. And to the world, that's what success looks like. It's like, oh man, his business.
I love
doing
where
good.
you're headed. I love where you're headed.
And I see it, and I'm like, I can tell you that guy's not winning. He may be having business success, but I can tell you when he gets home, it's not good.
If there is a home.
If he has someone to come home to. And I see a lot of business people try and put Band-Aids on it instead of just fixing the foundation, And so like when I hear about the anxiety thing, I did a whole podcast about how I deal with anxiety, right? And I talked about that. I go, hey, doctors will prescribe you pills. They'll tell you to do X, Y, Z. And I'm like, dude, to me, anxiety comes from not being balanced. Like,
absolutely.
It comes from, hey, are you spending time? You're not spending time with God. You're not spending time with your family. You're only doing one thing. Your health is, you're not working out. You're not eating right. Like, dude, of course you're going to have anxiety. Yeah. You're like, pills ain't going to fix it. You're going to.
It's a Band-Aid.
It's a Band-Aid. Yeah. But you got to fix the foundation to truly like have a long-term. Like how long are you going to take pills for before they destroy whatever they're going to destroy?
Liver, pancreas, I mean, you name it. It can be good. It's synthetic chemicals. It's like it's synthetic. It's not good for you, man. It's not a good long-term plan. And for anybody out there that's on pills, I just want to say this: like, you're not alone. This is unfortunately, it's a big part of the process. If you're not balanced, like Ryan said, and you're not taking care of the foundation, right? Body, mind, spirit. Then you're going to run into some pretty dark times, like I did.